Yo, what's going on guys? Poizesto here, back with another video. Double upload for today, I know. Guys are being blessed today, right? But we're back with some more PvP, and I've been really enjoying this game mode, guys. I've actually been playing for a lot of hours now. I should really be on treasure map on global trying to maintain my top 500, but this has been a lot of fun. So team I'm going to be showcasing today, guys, is a strength int based around Powerhouse type. So let's go ahead and check it out real quick. I'll show you guys the team and kind of break it down and tell you what's kind of going on. Now keep in mind, I've only been playing for like 2 or 3 hours, so some of the things I may say may be incorrect because obviously I don't read Japanese. But the fact is, I was winning. I think I had like a 36 win streak or something like that, and I literally just lost it like 2 or 3 games ago. So yeah, hopefully that lets you know that this team's kind of legit. Alright, so the way I was building this team is kind of obviously around Snake Man because Snake Man's special is pretty broken, right? Essentially what Snake Man does is he does a big AoE attack. Unfortunately, sometimes you can only hit one person. For example, if there's an enemy by himself on the side, because for some reason some attacks like push people away. I'm not really too sure how it works. I don't know if it's random or if there are things that, you know, factor into that. But it does mean that sometimes Snake Man won't have the AoE special. He only hits one target, which does kind of suck. But then I was like, let's just stack different kinds of AoE. So then I went with a Kainu because he's strength and he has a really strong passive, which essentially levels up strength units attack by a certain amount of stages depending on the passive level. Now I've leveled mine up to level 3, so he's giving me a passive increase of, I think it's still only 2 levels. It could actually be 4. I'm not 100% sure, like 4 attacks, because level 2 doesn't change at all. Nah, but I'm pretty sure that at this level 3, our strength units are going to be starting off the fight with 4 increases in attack, which is pretty huge. Because the way I think you want to play this game mode is essentially you want to start off with the highest amount of increases in your stats, and the goal is to kind of just try and maintain it whilst also killing your opponent as quickly as possible. So at that point I started thinking to myself, right, so I've got Luffy, I've got Akainu, they're both Powerhouse. So here in comes Judge, right? Judge is super cool because his special buffs Powerhouse characters attack by 2 levels every time he pops it. He does do a little bit of damage, 0.55 of his attacks. I've only leveled it to level 3. So I mean, it's not that much. I mean, if you look at Snake Man's damage, he's doing like 2 times his attack, right? Let's have a look at 2.1 times his attack. So it's nowhere near, you know, that absurd damage that Snake Man brings. But it's a little bit of damage and it's nice to add on to the table, right? So we've got strong buffs to start off the actual fight with. And then if you look at all my units apart from Snake Man itself, they all have very low CT. So 22 CT. Well, okay, apart from Akainu and Snake Man themselves, we'll get into that in a second. So 22 for Judge, 22 for Red Ranger. I don't know if his is 27, which is actually not that bad for a legend unit, honestly. But this is where Hody Jones comes in, and perfectly timed that I'm actually on him now. So the reason why I brought Hody Jones is for his passive. His passive gives us cooldown. So his passive gives us CT. Now giving cooldown is nutty. Like giving cooldown as a passive is crazy, because it means that as long as you have him on your team starting off the fight, you're gonna have reduced cooldown, which means even though these units have pretty long CT, so they have a long, you know, special charge time if you want to call it that, they're still gonna get it off pretty quickly. Now Red Ranger is here for a couple of different reasons. The main one again is that his special does boost Powerhouse units attack by 2 levels again. So this is staying in conjunction with my Powerhouse shell that I was telling you guys about from the start. So right now we've got Judge who's buffing our attacks for Powerhouse by 2 levels. We've also got the Red Ranger that does that. Akainu is there for the AoE. Hody also has a pretty interesting special because he does a decent amount of damage. It is fixed damage, and he increases your defense up by a certain amount. Now, the defense up is the icon, but what it actually is, it's called guard. Because essentially, when someone hits your character, they have a percentage chance to guard it. I don't know if it's a percentage, but they have a chance to guard it, right? And the higher your guard level, I believe the higher the chance it is that you're going to actually block that attack and guard. Now, guarding is actually pretty nutty. Because sometimes you'll guard like some big hits, and what it lets you do is retaliate and pop a special, for example, and that can win you a fight. Like, say you're kind of low on HP, you get a guard, but you have your special charged, and then you retaliate with your special. That has won me so many fights, and it's thanks to this Hody Jones. Keep in mind, he also still has that reducing cooldown passive ability, right? So in comes the Green Ranger. Now this unit is only there because, again, he's Powerhouse, and he does have a passive ability of actually increasing the attack of Powerhouse units as well. Now this unit is mainly here for one reason, and that reason is to reduce defense up. I'm gonna try and get him to level 8, but it will take me a long time. Actually, even level 7 is when he starts actually reducing the defense up by level 3. The main reason for this is because I lost to a Bullet team, and the main reason why Bullet is so strong is that not only does he make you have to fight him, he gives himself like a force lock, so all your units are targeting Bullet. He also gives himself a defense up. So I kept playing a bit more, and I eventually found another Bullet unit, another Bullet enemy, and I used this Green Ranger on my team, and he came in so clutch because when he would pop his special, it's almost as if Bullet didn't really do anything with his. Now, I'm assuming as you obviously get higher in the ranks, people will have more levels invested in passives and special levels, so maybe reducing it by 3 may not be enough later on, and I might have to find another substitute. But I don't really use this guy on my team mainly. The other unit I have on my team is the Strength Usopp, which is pretty insane in my opinion. Now, of course, he's not getting the attack increases from Judge, but the main reason he's here is for his special. I haven't got that many levels into it yet because the only problem with building color based teams instead of like type or class based teams is because, for example, I have 3 strength units, so the flags I'm getting for strength, I have 4 strength units, so the flags I'm getting for strength, I have to somehow, level up all these units. It's spreading me too thin on resources, right? So this unit hasn't really got any levels in his special up, but look at the starting base. So it's a 20 CT, which is again super low. Like I said, it should try and aim for like maybe 25 and lower for like rare recruits, because most of the time if it's longer than that, you probably won't get it off, especially if they're a rare recruit. Legends have higher base HP, so they tend to live longer, so even if they have like a longer cooldown, such as Luffy, Snake Man, they can still pop it off. But this this Strength Usopp will reduce the cooldown by 7%, which is super nice at level 1 on a 20 turn CT cooldown, which is really quick. So this is kind of the shell of the team, and I forgot to mention the passive of the Red Ranger. Instead of giving an attack to all our Powerhouse units, what he does is give us 4 levels in speed. Now speed is pretty crucial in my opinion, because a lot of the times I would have my specials charged, but my whole team would go after my enemy, and what that meant was they would just die with their special ready. So having a passive like this that lets me obviously go before my opponent because we have higher speed is why I would say he's more essential to the team than Green Ranger. I pretty much only bring the Green Ranger when I'm fighting Bullet, and Oz is just there to fill out the team. I don't really even know what he does, and I don't actually know Usopp's passive. Those units I went through are the only specials I know, because all I've been doing is when I lose or when I'm trying to figure stuff out is I would go into these battles right here, and I would recommend you guys do this for yourself if you want to find out and build your own teams and just fight some of these enemies. I haven't beaten them all, but I beat the Straw Hats with this exact team, and I was stuck on them for a long time. So that's when I knew that this team is actually pretty decent, because the Straw Hats were actually pretty hard. I haven't actually tried the Big Mom Pirates yet, but maybe I will later on down the line. But yeah, essentially what I was doing is I would add one new member each time to kind of understand what buffs I'm getting and what's carrying over. And that's pretty much how I figured out what those units do in terms of their specials and passives, right? So we're going to go ahead and refill for you guys. I did just lose my streak, which does suck. But we're currently ranked in the 59,000. Keep in mind I've only started playing this today, so yeah, I mean, to be fair, I have used a lot of gems in all honesty, because you only get 3 runs per day, which is kind of, kind of bad in my opinion. I wish you could do more, but I mean, I guess it's fair enough because they don't really want people to go too ham, I guess. And I'm pretty sure the way it works is the higher your win streak, the more tickets that you get. Because the win streak I was on, the win was giving me 7, I believe, or was it 8 tickets per win? I can't even remember. But I did try and fight this Luffy team, and I would say the biggest counter I would say is probably the Sabo and Koala. Every time I fought a Sabo and Koala, they just do way too much. I don't know what their special does, but I'm pretty sure it's more than just defense reduction and damage, because whenever I fight them, I just get completely wrecked. And then Vivi and Rebecca are also super good for their healing. Like, every time I face the Sabo and Koala and Vivi and Rebecca team, this team has kind of struggled. But most of the time their CP was a lot higher. Like, this guy is more than 10k CP ahead of me, and what that basically tells me is, it doesn't just tell me that the base stats of his team is higher. No, it's telling me that he's leveled up them far more than I have, because special level up and passive level up is taken into account within that CP number I'm pretty sure. Because whenever I leveled up my Akainu special, or I leveled up my Snake Man special, I would get an increase in CP. So the fact that he's more than 10k CP ahead of me, I probably shouldn't have fought him, honestly. I was getting way too cocky. I just kept fighting the guy at the bottom, because it does give you an extra ticket when you get a certain streak. I just kept fighting the guy at the bottom over and over again, and this guy I didn't take into consideration how far ahead he was actually from my team. Like, his team is way stronger than mine in terms of base stats, which tells me that he's got a few levels into their passives and abilities. So in this case, this is actually a bullet team. Perfect. So this means I'm gonna get to showcase to you guys Green Ranger. I had a streak quite a while ago, like a really long time ago, and then I lost it to a bullet team. So then I found out about this Green Ranger doing those 0 stamina runs I'm telling you guys about, and then I literally I was on another like 30+ streak, and then I lost to this Luffy and Law team, which I'm assuming that guy just has a lot of invested units in terms of passives and abilities, whereas mine aren't really that much higher than his. So one thing I will say though is that don't take the combat power number too much into consideration, because a lot of the time, as you'll hopefully get to see from this showcase, it's more about the synergy of your team than actually the combat power. So for example, right now, look at our starting team, right? So my Luffy, my Akainu, and my Red Ranger all have 12 increases in attack. He only has 9. So what that tells me is his synergy is pretty decent, but it's not the best. But his bullet does have 14, which is pretty good. Anything in the double digits, I would say, is actually pretty strong in my opinion, right? So that's why you kind of want to be aiming for with your teams. So as you can see, as I was saying earlier, the whole idea of this team is to start off strong and maintain our strength. And that is exactly what we're doing. So this judge is going to keep on buffing our attack over and over again for our powerhouse units. This Hodie's coming in is going to give us a defense up, increases our chances to guard against hits. I'm not sure what the Magellan does actually. I actually don't know what this debuff is, in all honesty. I can't lie about that. Now, the big hitters in this team, whenever you don't go against Bullet, I would say are Akainu and Snake Man. Because Akainu, if you get his second rotation of his special, he actually does so much damage. It's actually insane how much damage he does. The second rotation of Akainu special is pretty broken, which is why I normally run Usopp to try and get that cooldown as quickly as possible for the CT reduction, right? Now, normally the Red Ranger is supposed to have died by now, but he's still living. I guess they really focused a lot on Akainu, and I think it is kind of random who they focus on. So honestly, if you guys are running this team and you're against Bullet, I would say you should put in the Green Ranger first rather than hoping the Red Ranger dies, because Bullet's dead now and we didn't really utilize him all that well. But it's fine, because Akainu's about to get off his second passive, his second special now, and it's all gonna be over. I'm telling you guys, it's all gonna be over soon. The good thing about the Red Ranger though, like I said, is that he does increase our speed, and because of that speed increase, it's most likely the reason why we're still getting to pop our specials before our opponent here. Yeah, I still don't actually know what that debuff is, but it's pretty interesting. And here comes Akainu. Boom, boom, boom. GG. GG, boys. Nice game. So yeah, Akainu is legit, man. Akainu is a beast when you get off his second special. And I'm pretty sure every increase of that rep, he's doing more and more damage. So that's why Akainu is MVP on this team, and that's kind of why I built this team around strength units. Because his passive does increase the base HP of strength units and the base attack. So yeah, it's pretty interesting, man. I'm interested to see what teams you guys are running. I'm very interested to know what the meta is. I've been seeing a lot of Bullets. I've been seeing a lot of Sabo and Koalas. Speaking of Sabo and Koala, we do have another Sabo and Koala team right here, but I'm gonna greed. I'm gonna go against the Whitebeard and Marco for the extra ticket. We are very close in CP. That's one thing I'll say. Do not fight someone if they're like 10k CP above you, because that actually is a difference. You know, like 10k CP, I would say, is actually a significant difference, because that I don't think that can really be made up from just like base stats at that point. There's more factoring into that difference, right? So I would say try and stay around maybe 5 to 10, you know, 10 max if you're really trying to push to get the extra red ticket here. But alright, we're against the Whitebeard team this time. This time I put in the Usopp off the Strength Ranger. And I'm sorry for calling them Rangers. It's just that I'm not on Global, so I can't read the units, and I'm so bad with names. Like, I've already uploaded videos where I've called like Arlong and Nell and stuff. So yeah, that's just me. I'm so bad with names, man, especially when it comes to anime, you know. So yeah, just gotta bear with me on that one. So again, starting off strong, and I think that is kind of how you want to play this game mode. It's more about the passives than really the specials themselves. Like, if you have strong passives that give you a good head start into the fight, you can kind of just win afterwards, you know, from sustaining all those good passives, especially the ones that give you increases in attack. I haven't really experimented with all these debuff units just yet, but for example, like that Nami just paralyzed us, which I've not even seen before. That's pretty cool. The Magellan, actually no, I think Magellan did paralyze us earlier. I can't even remember. But yeah, maybe I should try some of these different effective units, like the ones that give debuffs, because maybe you can even do like conditioner boost or something like that. But I have no idea, honestly. Like at this point, I don't think there's a resource anyway for us to have things translated just yet. There's no like database for PvP, as to my knowledge, because let's be honest guys, there's a bunch of units just all released in one go. Whoever has that task of translating, it's a very large ordeal. It's gonna take some time. But I was definitely sleeping on this game mode, and I'm really there's actually chain lock in this. That's the first time I've seen it. Yo, no way. Yo, that's so crazy. That's the first time I've seen chain lock in this. That's nutty. think that was Aokiji that chain locked us. No way. Snake Man coming in. Yeah, Snake Man just won us that fight there. But I've never seen chain lock. That was legit. So debuffs are actually legit, especially when there's chain lock. Yo. Yeah, this game mode is sick, man. This game mode is sick, but like I was saying, I was sleeping on it. I didn't even really want to like give it a go until it came to global. But honestly, just playing it, trying out teams, messing around with different strategies is hella fun, man. It's hella fun, and I really cannot wait for this to come to global. Speaking of global, I really should be doing treasure map right now, but I'm out here grinding PvP. One thing I also want to ask you guys is I'm hoping you're pretty excited for 6th anniversary. I'm pretty excited myself. That new Blackbeard is looking sick. As you can see underneath, we got that new Nami artwork looking fine as hell. The Luffy artwork is sick too. Like bro, like the artwork for this event is pretty insane, and it's props to the guy who did the artwork, man. So we're gonna do one more run just to showcase this team one more time. Just so you guys can see its power. All of these teams don't look that annoying to deal with. Just for the hell of it, I am gonna go ahead and switch the team to show you guys what the Green Ranger does. So instead of giving us speed like the Red Ranger, what the Green Ranger does is he gives us an attack increase to all our Powerhouse, which is actually super strong. And I'm level 3 into the passive. So we're actually getting 5 extra attack to our Powerhouse units, which is literally all the units on the team. So watch, when we start this round, we're gonna have like, I think my Snake Man might have like 19 attack or something crazy like that. Let's have a look at how much attack he's gonna have. Strength buff from Akainu. Judge is gonna keep on buffing him. Dex range is gonna buff him. Let's have a look how much attack he's gonna have. So yeah, he pops his attack, boom boom, 17 attack, boys. That's crazy, bro. That's actually nutty. Look how hard Akainu's hitting. Like they're hitting hard. If you get a crit too. So this is exactly what I'm saying. It's more about how you start the fight. Because for example, if you start the fight with like a 20 something attack boost, and you look, I've already killed one of the units just from raw attacks. I haven't even popped any specials yet. Like, it's actually pretty nutty. Now we're gonna get the defense down, which isn't really important here because I don't think any of those units give them increased defense. And then Judge is gonna come through again, gonna start buffing my attack for Luffy and everyone else again. So now Luffy's on 19 attack. Yeah, honestly, this team is really fun to use, I think. And yeah, I'm actually really happy with this team. And I'm actually really interested to know what you guys are running. I'm assuming all of you guys are probably doing like Douglas Bullet. Sabo and Koala seem pretty strong too, honestly. But hey, show Judge some love. Show these Powerhouse units some love, because man, they're pretty insane. They're actually pretty insane, man. I haven't actually checked out what like the other Germa batch do, but maybe like Reiju does some kind of sick debuff potentially. I'm not 100% sure. But in comes Red Ranger now, and now we have the increased speed from his passive. So that's one thing you need to you kind of need to remember is your passives don't work when they're on the bench. They only work when you put them into the actual fight, which is pretty important to remember. Because you can actually kind of plan around that when you see a certain team. So like you can be like, alright, I don't really need this passive to start the fight with, but maybe later on down the line when they bring in their subs, I may need to reduce defense later on, for example. So you don't start with your defense down reducer. That would be one example I could use in my head. And that is one thing I'll say. It's kind of nice that you can see the enemy team before you fight. Like normally in other PvP games you would be able to see them, but you wouldn't actually be able to change your team composition that much. It's kind of like you'd start with one team, and when you're in that selection draft, you can't change your team. That's kind of a good and a bad thing, because it means defending is really hard. Like defending and actually getting defense wins is probably really hard to actually do consistently, because the fact that opponents can actually look at your team, change up their team to counteract your team means that defending is going to be pretty ridiculous, unless you, of course, you have bullet. But as you saw from that Dex Ranger, there are definitely counters towards him if you kind of know how specials work and you plan accordingly. But yeah, I don't really want to keep rambling on and make this video any longer, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that showcase. I'm gonna quickly show you the team again, guys. Strength int Powerhouse, baby, the goat. The goats, legit. Snake Man, Kainu is definitely the MVP of this team for that round 2 special. Like, honestly, taking out Dex Ranger, putting in this Usopp for the cooldown reduction is not the best. I was only doing it earlier on. I honestly do think that the Green Ranger is a lot stronger overall, because when he does come in, he gives everyone a lot of attack increase. And like I keep saying, I think the way to play this game mode is start strong and just try and maintain it. Like, if you start with a 20 increase in levels, like you're gonna kill a couple of units or one unit with just attacking, and by then your specials will be ready and they're already down a couple of units, so it's kind of GG after that point, you know. One last thing I'll say is that healers on offense aren't really that good. I was doing that earlier on thinking that it's kind of like a decent strategy, but the problem is with the timer, you're kind of just playing yourself at that point. You'd rather kill everything as quickly as possible, and instead of like trying to sustain and doing damage, it's more about how quickly you can get your buffs up and kill your enemy as quickly as possible. But yeah, other than that, guys, GG's. Let me know if you enjoyed this showcase. I might make some more teams. Like, keep in mind, I've only been playing this for like a couple of hours. I may even do a triple upload, who knows. I highly doubt that, to be honest, because I need to farm treasure map. But yeah, I definitely will be like playing this off stream and non-recording, trying out different teams and seeing what synergies I can come up with. I was trying to do like a cooldown based one with this guy. This guy's sick. This guy has a cooldown of 28, but when you actually do his special, it's really high damage, high damage. I think he always cuts his HP, as you can see, cuts his HP by 20%, but 1.64 at level 6, and it's only on 26 or 28 CT. And when I have units like this guy that reduces it, I have the Usopp that reduces it, it's pretty sick, man. It's pretty sick. But yeah, post your teams down in the comment section below, and be on the lookout for the next PvP video, because I definitely will be making some more. Alright guys, take it easy. Peace.